This is the Dzogchen Sende Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi. This evening let us recite both Pure Golden Ore as well as the Cuckoo's Song of Pure Presence, both composed so many centuries ago by the great Buddhist reformer Vajra, known to the Tibetans as Garab Dorje. Luminous, by the way, the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist philosophy or meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window, for I do check for questions intermittently. Luminous mind, inexpressible beyond conceptualization. As the light of the teacher is extolled by all, as the heart of experience is like the archetype of insight and letting go, gentle prince, also known as a Manjushri. Resting in the spontaneous pleasure of effortless perfection. Of all the bases of all, take two. As the basis of all disciplines, such as moral conduct, luminous mind provides release in its every mode. It is a Buddha's mother and the universal path. Without it, a Buddha could not come into being. We are the way of supreme liberation. Subtle and elusive, this universal path transcends thinking and non-thinking. Without location or reference, indeterminate, it is beyond all conceptualization. Unutterable, it has no color or shape in our sensory field. So what is it referring to? The universe, this universal path. So I'm going back over here. I'm going to highlight all the its. The its have it. I guess it's the eyes have it, sorry. Intangible and inscrutable, it is inexpressible. Whoever follows the path of the ancient ascetics becomes sick from attachment to the meditation process. The literal interpretation of his teachers, here we go. The literal interpretation of their teachers' instructions is construed as an arduous quest. They chase a stream of concepts as if pursuing a mirage. The perfect modality cannot be indicated by mere words, and any elitist true doctrine, there we go. Here we go. And any elitist, only true doctrine and any elitist so-called true doctrine makes a travesty of Dorje Sempa, the archetype of awareness and release. Do bear with me whilst I do a micro edit. Let's continue. Purity and impurity as one, inseparably mixed. Pristine awareness and bewilderment are indivisible. Let's see, can I get this on one line? I cannot. This is the lamp of an unimpeded clarity, free of conceptualization. And obstinate befuddlement in and of itself is sovereign samadhi, or samadhi. The eye of direct insight, seeing directly, sees nothing, and it is called the Buddha eye of omniscience. So let's hit this for a second. What does that mean? Seeing directly, sees nothing. This is a metaphor for the ultimate nature of all that we can perceive. All that we can see, hear, feel, taste, smell, and the like. All that we can emote, intend, reason, recall, and imagine. For as we relax into our exhalation, all that we noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand. So that is the Buddha eye of omniscience. Omniscience is not taken literally, but figuratively. It has been said by the great Tibetan teacher, the late Karma Chakme Rinpoche, that once you examine a piece of bamboo and find that it's cylindrical and it's hollow, you pretty much understand the nature of all bamboo. They are cylindrical and hollow. Likewise, once you understand the nature of one thing, you understand the ultimate nature of all things, everywhere. Let's continue. Know the nature of vastness without center or boundary, and there lies undiscriminating sovereign sameness. Vastness is the opposite of concentration. Concentration means taking our world and making it teeny tiny, very small. I'm only thinking about one thing and everything else can fuck off. That's concentration. Mindfulness says, let's just perceive. Let's vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly perceive whatever pierces our sphere of awareness. And you can say, but how can they be the same? How can beauty and ugliness be the same? Because as we relax into our exhalation, both beauty and ugliness could feel as if they were melting into the simplicity of just a sight. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever melody or discord we might have, or whatever harmony or discord we might have noticed during our previous inhalation, could feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of just a sound. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever pleasurable or painful emotion we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was melting into the simplicity of just an emotion. This is not something we believe. This is not the product of mental gymnastics. It is the visceral experience latent within every exhalation. And all we need to do to access it is to stop fighting our own autonomic nervous system. Let's continue. Luminous mind and its habits are one, inseparably mixed. All manifest experience, by mind projected, shine as adornment. Neither accepted nor rejected, simply let it be and enjoy it. Excuse me, I need a wet ma whistle. Not sure. Getting these bizarro messages from TikTok. Anywho. Activity that is personally repugnant or culturally taboo, such as the 5 mental poisons of dread, desire, delusion, jealousy, and pride, and the 5 so-called unforgivable crimes of matricide, patricide, maliciously wounding a Buddha, being religiously divisive, or stealing offerings. Oddly deliver the realization of sovereign sameness. For on the path of purity, no pleasure is rejected, certainly not even sex. The intellect, conditioned by the rigidity of tradition and literalism, such as Samadhi's 3 contrived analogues of awareness, bliss, and love, as well as dogmatic belief in doctrine, are the delusions that undermine the effortless transmission. Instead of such folly, abide in the treasure of free form perfection. So this is a remarkably concise way of saying we can't believe our way to nirvana. We cannot rigid our way to enlightenment. We cannot force thoughtlessness or bliss or love in a beneficial way. We can force it, but it's not going to benefit us. Regardless of how popular ritual and visualization and contrivance might be, they do more harm than good. The core of sublime self-originating awareness, imperturbable, unchanging, unelaborated. This is the ambrosia of timeless consummation that vanishes the pain of any exertion. Every ambition fulfilled, rest in the here and now. So, wherever we're at, we can notice it, but we can also remember other places or imagine other places, yet still be here. We can notice our present location and still remember previous ones and still imagine future ones, yet still be here. Here and now has been stolen, has been co-opted by the rigid and turned into a form of poisonous concentration. But in the context of these teachings, here and now means being present, with the maelstrom of the moment, being present with all the memories and all the fantasies and all the perceptions, whether they are external or internal or physical or mental or pleasurable or painful or interesting or boring or glorious or grotesque. Hey, magnificent being, listen. All and everything in experience has the nature of luminous mind. So luminous has two meanings. Conventionally, luminous means it is perceivable. I can't see, the room is dark. Turn on a light. In the luminosity, we can see things. Now, ultimately, light is non-graspable. You can see it, but you can't grasp it. You can grab the source of the light, the flashlight. You can't grasp the light itself. I know, I've tried. It doesn't work. So, ultimately, something is as non-graspable as light, or as a rainbow, or as the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn. It is the all-inclusive essential drop, incapable of elaboration or concentration, expansion or contraction, generation or sensation. Unconfined, it is simply being. So instead of playing with a literal sensation of bliss at our heart that we might focus on kinesthetically or visualize as a syllable, concentrate on it, and as such exhaust the front part of our brain, thus inviting the symptoms of depression and triggering our amygdala, the seat of anxiety and aggression. We treat the essential drop not as something literal, but as something metaphoric, but as something as a metaphor of our experience during each inhalation of noticing, and during each exhalation of relaxing. This inconceivable essence, timelessly present like the sky, ubiquitous like space, transcends ideas and speech. And so these 11 delicious passages are summarized by the final passage, known by some as the 6 Vajra verses, and by others as the cuckoo's song of pure presence. Cuckoo being thought of in Tibet as the bird whose cry is the harbinger of spring. The nature of multiplicity is non-dual, and things in themselves are pure and simple. Being here and now is contrivance-free, and it shines out in all forms, always good. It is already perfect, so exertion is redundant, and spontaneity is ever natural. For the remainder of this evening's live stream, together, let us sit and breathe and notice and relax. I'm going to take a moment to do some math. Let's see here. Let's hit this button. Let's find clear and 55 and subtract 19 and then divide that by 2. All right. Here we go. Thank you for your patience. A very efficient way for us to gently gather our real or imagined subtle energies at our crown is for us to rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. As we feel air enter our nostrils, let us silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this as we cooperate with the middle bit of our spinal cord. As we feel air exit our nostrils, let us silently and mentally recite the verb rest as we cooperate with the top, very tippy top and very bottom of our spinal cord, considered to be the hub of our parasympathetic nervous system. One of the most efficient ways for us to gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in our chest is for us to rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger upon the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our lap. As we breathe in, we can silently and mentally recite the verb noticing. And allow me to rephrase that. As we feel our chest swell with breath, silently and mentally we could recite the verb, the 3-syllable verb, noticing. And as we feel our chest subtly sink as gently we exhale, we can silently and mentally recite the other 3-syllable verb, relaxing. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. For Meditate Like a Jedi is made possible thanks to the generosity of viewers just like you. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to tomorrow's dawn recitation, explanation, and practice of meditating like a Jedi. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.